Have you ever had that quiet nagging thought, if something happened to me tomorrow, would my family know what to do, whom to call, where to find the important documents, know what you actually would have wanted? Most people push that thought away as soon as it comes up. It feels too heavy, too morbid, or for later. But if you're here, my guess is you've started to wonder if later might be a little too vague. I'm Dr. Bunchessa. I'm a physician and a passionate advocate for legacy planning and end-of-life preparedness. I've spent years in medicine sitting with people and families on some of the hardest days of their lives. And in my own family, we've gone through the grief, the paperwork, the confusion, and the I wish we had talked about this sooner moments. So this channel isn't about scaring you. It's about doing the opposite, turning something we avoid into something that gives us peace. Let's go through some scenarios, shall we? Maybe you are a parent who lies awake sometimes thinking, if something happened to me, who would take care of my kids? Would anyone know their routines, their needs, their feelings? Maybe you've watched a loved one pass away and thought, we're grieving, and somehow we're also digging through drawers and emails trying to figure out what they wanted. Maybe you just feel this sense that your house is full, your devices are full, your mind is full, but nothing is really organized if the worst were to happen. Or you may have your life together. Your career might be stable, your finances might be fine, your family might be doing well, and still, there may be one category you quietly avoid, not because you're careless, not because you're disorganized, but because it feels uncomfortable. What would happen if something happened to you? Or to put it more directly, what would happen if you were incapacitated? Or worse, what would happen when, not if, you die? Who would know what you want? Who would know where things are? Who would make decisions for you if you couldn't? Most intelligent, capable adults don't have clear answers to those questions. Not because they're irresponsible, but because thinking about death feels like inviting it. If that's you, you're not alone. Most people are in the exact same place. I was in your place too. For the most part, I lived what people would call a responsible life. Medical school, residency training, board certification, medical practice, helping patients, making difficult decisions, being reliable. On paper, everything looks structured and disciplined. But here's what was missing. I was trained to respond when a crisis already hit, when people are already ill, not to prevent chaos once a life ended. I knew how to manage illness, but I haven't asked myself the deeper question either. If my life ended suddenly, would the people I love be protected from confusion and more suffering? In fact, that question slowly started to surface for me only because loss forced me to confront something medicine alone does not solve. That question became unavoidable after my family experienced several deaths in 1 year, at different ages and in very different circumstances. I watched us grieve. I watched us search for documents, try to guess wishes, and realize there were stories and plans we never captured. Those experiences didn't just make me grieve. They made me curious. Could we live differently and plan differently so families suffer less when the inevitable happens? That's the question that brought me here talking to you. When people hear end-of-life planning or legacy planning, they often think wills, lawyers, complicated paperwork, and conversations nobody wants to have. But legacy planning is bigger than legal forms. It's about protecting the people you love from chaos and conflict, capturing the stories and wisdom that would otherwise disappear, making sure your values, not fear or confusion, guide the decision someday. And strangely enough, living more intentionally now because you've stopped running from the fact that life is finite. To me, this isn't morbid. It's one of the most loving things we can do for ourselves and for the people who would be left picking up the pieces. On this channel, we're going to talk about things like how to start planning without feeling overwhelmed or morbid. Simple ways to make life easier for the people who would have to step in for you. How to choose and prepare a trusted delegate or decision maker. How to organize your documents, accounts, and wishes so they're actually usable in a crisis. And how to think about your legacy, not just money, but stories, values, and the impact you'll leave behind. We'll also talk about how all of this changes the way we live, what we prioritize, how we spend our time, and how we show love while we're still here. I'm also building a platform called Comistry, a secure online planner and vault designed to help families organize what matters most before, during, and after loss. I won't go deep into that in this video, but as the channel grows, I'll share more of what we're building and how it can support the things we'll talk about here. For now, think of this space as the education and companion side, ideas, guidance, and gentle prompts to help you take the next step. To start, I don't want you to redesign your entire life. I just want you to ask yourself a few questions after this video. If something happened to me, who would I want to step in first? Does that person actually know that? Or have I just assumed they do? Is there one thing I can write down or share this week that would make life easier for them? That might be the name and number of your primary doctor or child's doctor, where to find the most important document, or simply, if something happens, please call this person first. They know me and they can help you navigate the rest. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be started. As I share here, I'll bring the lens of my medical background and my own personal experiences with loss and planning. But I do want to be clear. I'm a physician, but I'm not your physician. And this channel isn't medical, legal, or financial advice. It's education, reflection, and guidance to help you have better conversations and make more informed choices with the right professionals. In future videos, I'll tell you more about what happened in my own family, what I've seen as a physician, the specific tools and checklists that can make all of this less overwhelming. We'll take it step by step. We'll keep it human, and we'll focus on making this about living better now, not just preparing for someday. If any part of this resonates with you, if you've ever thought, I don't want to leave a mess behind, or I want my life to add up to something that lasts beyond me, then I'd love for you to stay. You can subscribe, leave a comment about where you are in this process, or share this with someone who's been thinking about the same questions. My hope is that over time, this channel becomes a place where we can talk honestly about death, legacy, and planning without fear, without shame, and without pretending it only happens to other people. This is the beginning of a conversation about how we live, how we prepare, and how we leave the people we love a little more supported than we found them. I'll explain more in the next videos. For now, just know this. You're not strange for thinking about this. You're wise for starting early.